Hey guys, in this video I'm going to take you through the core principles of the SaaS agency itself. Now the SaaS agency is one of my favorite models there is, especially if you are looking for that intro offer into clients, or you're looking to just get started yourself, or whatever you're trying to do in terms of getting in the door with that first client. It's, in my opinion, one of the best ways to do so. Even as a really established agency, I think it's incredible, absolutely incredible, simply because the way the SaaS agency works is your service is really easy to fulfill, right? You don't really have too much going on in the way of client work or having to do the service. It's already set up for you, right? And also your cost is pretty much fixed. You've got a monthly cost to license the software, which is usually about $497 or so, $597, somewhere around about there. That's your monthly cost to license all of the software and do everything that you need to. That doesn't increase per user either. It stays the same every single time. It doesn't matter if you have 10 clients or you have 1,000 clients, your cost remains the same. You can also get the customer service taken care of as well. Now there's extensions to the platform you can use that get all of the customer service taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. It increases your cost by something like $397 or $497 a month for live chat. But all in all, you're looking at $800 per month in your fixed cost, your hard costs. For as many clients as you want, it's a scalable business. Your fulfillment cost doesn't increase, which is unheard of in this space. And one of the biggest things when it comes to agencies is delivering results for your clients, right? That's one of the most important parts. That's what builds your reputation, and that's what really helps make sure that you have that solid reputation going forwards. You get referrals, you build trust, and it makes life a lot easier. The SaaS agency allows you to implement that because you don't have to worry about the fulfillment. It's all taken care of. You can deliver the expected result to that client instantly and not have to concern yourself with doing the heavy lifting or any of the work because it's already done. It's pre-built. There's also additional extensions that you can use where you could set up, it's called UpHex, where you can set up a Facebook ads campaign, right? Let's say you have a proven structure. Like we have proven structures that we use in certain industries, right? We can set up a proven structure on the platform already pre-done and import it into a client's account. So they can come on board for a monthly subscription and they get access to not only the CRM system, their lead management system, the power dialer, the text message automations, their funnel builder. They can also get access to plug and play ad campaigns that they just connect their ad account to, and it's good to go. That's next level, right? There's no fulfillment on that. They get their lead generation, which is what people buy, right? People always buy lead generation. They get their fulfillment, their CRM system, the tech behind it, the software. They don't need ClickFunnels. They don't need Unbounce. They don't need all the different types of, Ring Central platforms or an extension to Twilio. It's all connected in this one platform. They don't need all these different tracking softwares. It all comes into one. And that's the biggest benefit of the SaaS agency overall. And that's why I think it is honestly one of the best models you can use, whether you're new to the game and you're just getting into the agency space, or whether you're pretty well established and you want to build up that floor, that monthly floor of monthly recurring revenue, right? Just like we did. We had over 160 SaaS users at this point. And it works incredibly well. It has that nice floor where it's pretty sticky. People are using the platform. It's pretty sticky. They're hanging around. They're paying every month. And that's like a foundation. That's a base for the business that we don't really have to worry too much about. And as a result, we're building up trust with that client. Now, another benefit I haven't really mentioned at this point is the fact that through a sales funnel, you can set this up where you don't even need to be having sales calls. This can be an auto purchase. You can offer free trials. You can offer, direct purchase straight into the subscription. And it can be at a low enough level that you don't even need sales calls. So you can have this complete evergreen feed of new clients coming in the door using paid advertising, looping it in with what we call a ladder funnel, which breaks even on the ad spend on day one, and just have this constant flow where you can spend as much as you want to on paid ads and just have all these clients coming in all the time. Obviously, they're building trust with you, they're getting to know you, they're getting attached. And to be honest with you, once they work with your business, right? Once they have transacted, they have received what you said they were going to receive, the one place they're going to go when they need further help is you, right? They're not going to go find someone else because they're going to have to build that trust again, right? That's not going to happen. They're going to come knocking on your door. So that means you've got this, this internal upsell pipeline at all times. And that's the true beauty of a SaaS agency. That's why I think it is the best model for anyone that is just starting out, an existing agency owner looking to build stability, or looking for that intro offer maybe that's to bring the customers in without all the sales calls or doing outbound emails or whatever lead generation strategy you want to run with. This gives you access to the paid ads world and building your internal audience. If you build that internal audience, you skyrocket, your business skyrockets, because you've got this warm pipeline all the time. So in this video, I'm basically going to be going through a couple of the key elements of the SaaS agency itself and giving you a walkthrough of this document that we've created. It's just a little overview of the business to give you an idea of what it looks like and some of the different key or really important elements that we've got. So really, to begin with, what we're looking at initially is leverage. So we leverage softwares like Go High Level, utilizing this as an audience builder and creating the monthly recurring revenue, right? It's really sticky. There's a lot of retention on it as well. So it provides that foundation. What's the biggest problem with agencies, right? They lose clients, there's churn, they don't have that steady, it's quite volatile, it's up and down, they don't have that steady revenue. With the SaaS agency, it's pretty steady, right? You have this layer that you know you might not drop below 15,000, 20,000 a month because your SaaS revenue brings it in. Then you've got that internal audience to bring clients in every single month. So it's beautiful, it's a beautiful model. The SaaS agency also allows you to offer an easy to deliver service with huge upsell potential with a captivated audience. So it gives you access to markets that might be competitive, right? That everyone else is trying to get into. But because you have this offer where you don't have to spend all day in sales calls, where you can just have your client acquisition working in the background, you can operate on autopilot. This brings people into your pipeline, customers, buyers, into your pipeline, identifying them they've got a problem. Maybe it was with lead generation, maybe it's with lead management or follow-up. They identify they have a problem, they transact with you, proving they're buyers, and you can do this at mass scale. You could have 50, 100 users every single month coming into your pipeline without taking any sales calls, right? And they're getting massive value. And then you can use appointment setters, you could use retargeting, you could use your email autoresponder to retarget and get back in front of these prospects to upsell them additional services. You can also upsell them within the platform because you can build out custom pages, right? So when these users are using the CRM and let's say, look, it's for lead management. I did this really well in the insurance space. Let's say if it was for lead management, if they have a pipeline of leads, a lead list to work, and they want to send it through automations like the power dialer or it was a text message automation, the next question they have is, well, I'm going to run out of leads at one point. I need more leads. So we obviously put a button, a page down the bottom that I'll give them access to lead generation services, right? And everyone on that platform, it was like a magnet to them. Everybody clicked, everyone was interested, everybody was ordering leads from it. We even incentivized the purchase of their first month with leads to get them used to using that process, right? To get them in the habit and the pattern of buying more and more leads. So it worked beautifully. And this is the kind of potential you have within this space. You're not going to be fighting for customers anymore. This gives you leverage that no one else has. Now, in terms of delivery, this service offering is very easy to deliver. The software is already developed. The kinks have been worked out. It's gone through multiple rounds of funding, and we can easily customize it to fit our target market. So we can make the tweaks that we need to make. We can customize it. We can brand it. We can make it essentially custom to that particular market, whether that's insurance, financial advice, mortgages, real estate, whatever it is. You can customize it to your preferences and run it as your own platform, which is why we do this. Another benefit is, of course, the sales calls element. Right, the SaaS agency allows you to acquire clients on autopilot without having to use sales calls. You can have a direct purchase on a monthly subscription, or you can run sales calls and sell on the annual plan. But really, the biggest problem agency owners face is the sales calls element. Right, often I hear, having worked with I think about 950 over 1,000 maybe at this point now, the same problem time and time again is they're a little bit hesitant with sales calls. and going through that process, number one, getting sales calls, and then number two, actually get beyond the sales call and closing, there's a bit of hesitation and nervousness around that, right? Well, this completely avoids that, because you can have your client acquisition on autopilot working literally 24/7. P.S. You'll be surprised at the amount of sales that come in the middle of the night. God knows what people are doing up at that time, but you would be surprised. This happens all the time, right? It happens on autopilot, and it works over and over and over again. So you can have all these customers lining up and paying without you even having a sales call. Then, of course, when they're ready to upgrade, you can either sell them lower ticket packages, or you can take them on a sales call. And then once they know you, once it's warm, and they come to you wanting to work with you, big dynamic shift there, that's when the sales call becomes a lot easier. It's warm leads. And that's even when building sales teams becomes easier, because the biggest pitfall when it comes to building sales teams is you try and get closers to close cold leads, right? Where they've got to educate the prospect, they've got to build the trust, they've got to build, the problem solving nature of things. They've got to deliver the solution as the solution, so to speak, to the prospect's problems. They've got to go through that whole customer journey in that phone call or one or two phone calls, and that's not necessarily an easy process to go through from a completely ice cold lead, right? The best sales teams have a pipeline of warm leads, because they don't need unicorn closers that are incredibly good at what they do. They need good closers who can close warm leads, and this sets you up for success. This is why you'll be able to build a sales team if you want to sell the annual plans or more expensive $1,000, $1,500 per month subscriptions on your software with additional services, obviously. That's where you can build a really strong pipeline with warm leads coming in all the time and set yourself up for success. That's the secret. Then we move on to retention. So the SAAS agency has a strong client retention, meaning your revenue is pretty steady month after month. It's not going to dip below the floor. You don't have the volatile months, and it becomes a solid business model, because as you can imagine, when it comes to the agency space, if you're offering services, especially if you're a solopreneur, right? You're just starting out, or you're kind of at that point where you might be 5 to 10K per month, and you've not quite got the systems dialed in yet, but you want to push on to 15, 20, and you're kind of juggling, right? You know you've got to do lead generation to bring more clients in, so you focus on that, but then you neglect your client work and the relationships, and they drop off, so that new client you just brought in is completely wiped out by the client that left. Or you spend so much time taking care of your clients that you forget your bottom line and you don't do lead generation. One of those clients leave and you're on the decline, right? So the SaaS agency, we don't really have that, because the lead generation, client acquisition happens on autopilot day after day, 24/7, and it always refills the pipeline constantly, right? And of course, because of the retention, because of building that layer, that foundation of monthly recurring revenue, you don't really drop below that floor. So there's nothing to really have the volatility, right? That's why this is so powerful. You don't suffer the same way as everybody else does. You have strength. And in terms of opportunity, you have a paying database of customers when you have a SaaS agency who are interested in your services. It could be marketing, lead generation, whatever it may be. By signing up for your SaaS, which is a much easier yes, because it's technology, they're identifying and basically raising their hand, right? Saying, look, we're interested in lead generation. We need help with this. And they're serious enough that they're willing to invest, right? That's the secret. They're willing to invest. They're pulling their credit card out. They're transacting with you. They're getting in your audience, and they're willing to invest in it. That makes them the perfect lead. It's not just a name on an email list. This is someone who has paid already. They've put their money where their mouth is. They're willing to invest, and they want additional help. This is your perfect in. You've seen all the appointment setters out there, right? That add 30 friends per day. Maybe you haven't, but there's a lot of appointment setters out there, or coaches, or whatever it may be, that tell you, look, bring in a commission-based appointment setter, get them to go on your Facebook business profile, add 30 friends per day, force them into a group, message them until they hate you, and then try and convince the ones that do bites into a sales call, right? We don't have to do that, because we have warm prospects coming in for help. We've got a warm audience. We don't have to go through that process. We don't have to feel the way those people hopefully feel if they have morals behind them. Like that's the reality. We want to make sure we're setting our business up, the foundations of our business up for success and longevity. and with strength. We want to be that step above everyone else. That's why we do what we do, and that's the benefit of running these models. Then it comes on to the implementation. So the SaaS agency is pretty straightforward to implement, simply because we don't have to build the software. And we can also include the customer support without spending a lot of time. Again, if you think about it, right, if you have a high ticket services and you have not too many clients because it's high ticket, you do have to spend time with your customers, but the customer service element isn't as hard. So you might think, well, look, if I have a low ticket, then I'm going to have a lot more customers, a lot more headaches, right? Doesn't really work that way. The problems are not as big, but the reality is, because they're not paying tremendous $10,000 fees, they don't expect you personally, the business owner, to be the one delivering the customer service. So we can quickly build customer service teams. Now here's the reality. That takes a lot of time and money. The beauty of what we're doing here is the platforms that we recommend go high level to do this actually have extensions called HR Pro Tools, where we can have them integrate into our accounts and provide live chats. They provide training on the platform, and database, an entire database of training to help our customers with screenshots and walkthroughs, everything you can think of. Something that will take you a year to build out, basically. Plus support tickets and the live chat function all on your platform immediately. So we don't even have to consider that. So you've really got the infrastructure of a business that's pretty strong, that could do 7 figures pretty quickly. You've got the platform that's robust enough, and it's always been developed. You've got the functionality, and you've got the customer service team. And now with the support here and what we're going to be teaching you in this channel, the marketing to put all this together, have a really strong business. That's the secret. Now, in terms of the growth of this model, it can rapidly grow to 10K per month without too many growing pains, simply because we have that infrastructure already set up. And this is one of the fastest strategies to build a strong foundation of monthly recurring revenue. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out, it's the perfect model because there's no learning curve with it. You don't have to build all this out. You've got a ready-made product, right? You can put this together and start selling and bring revenue, and then start upselling and learning and developing your business in the future. If you have an existing agency where you're experiencing some churn, or maybe your lead generation systems are not where you want them to be, they're inconsistent, you're on too many sales calls, or not enough sales calls, or they're tire kickers, or you're trying to build sales teams and you're struggling, this is the perfect model to build that foundation and that intro level lead generation system, using what we call the ladder funnel in your process to sell this model and build not only that floor of monthly recurring revenue, but also the happy customer base, right? That you can upsell, that internal warm pipeline, and a strong enough system to build a sales team in the future, because that's what it's all about. It's not just about how good the closer is. What's more important is your process for delivering leads to that closer that are actually closable. And that's the secret. That's why we operate the SaaS agency. And throughout this channel, we're going to be releasing more videos about this model and various other agency services. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, stay dialed in. We're going to try and blow your mind with value here. That's the whole purpose of this channel. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Any questions, just let us know in the comments. We'll answer as best as we can, every single one of them.